everyone, good morning. How are we all doing? I think I've been in about 4 weeks of isolation at the moment. I'm not sure how everyone's going. It's good to hear that we're starting to relax a bit of the restrictions to move around. I don't know if I'm ready to see people, to be honest. We've probably been having one too many brownies, but I hope everyone is doing well and they've started to get used to a certain level of norm in our new environment. I'm just going to have a really quick session today in Ask Shares, and Ask Shares is really an opportunity for anyone that's sort of interested or wanting to find out a little bit more about outsourcing, about virtual assistants. And whether it's, it's to do with our services or not, it's really the whole idea of our shares is for you to think about ways that you can be a little bit more productive, leverage your time as a business owner, and pretty much free yourself from that sort of overwhelm of doing everything. So I want to talk about a question that we often get asked by our clients is, what tasks should I be delegating? And we work out basically most tasks if all have, and here's my fancy not so white whiteboard. There are 4 ways to look at a task, and we have a fancy little Google Doc form which we call our task shredder. And what the task shredder helps do is help evaluate the type of task that you are doing, and as whether they're high value, of low value, whether it's something that you like, that you like to do and you're good at, or that you don't really like and you're not very good at. So I put together sort of a what do they call it? It's almost like a SWOT diagram, isn't it? Can we sort of see that? And I'll talk through what I mean by high value, low value. That might be swapped over. And I'll put a smiley face for things that we either like to do or love to do, and things that we don't really like to do or are not very good at. And this is where, in terms of high value, so if you look at what you're doing in your business and why you started it, it mainly is to be able to share your expertise or something that you're good at. And that's often the thing that brings in the money, brings in the moolah, right? And so, for example, what you want to look at is, work out your sort of hourly rate. What is it that you're worth on an hourly basis? And it's not so much what you're earning now, and that might not be particularly mind-blowing, but work out what your hourly rate might possibly be, whether it's 150, 250, 500, an hour, 1,000 an hour, or whichever. Work out what that is, and that's where you ascertain what your high-value tasks are, the tasks that are really going to make a big difference and bring in, that you're able to charge for that time. The low value tasks are the ones that aren't really bringing in the money per se, or they might be really high repetitive, mundane tasks, say whether it's data entry or whatever it might be, that's not really contributing hugely to the high value sort of money generating, but where this is where I still need to be involved in the business, obviously. So high value and things that you love, that's where you need to be. That's where you need to be. As small business owners and solopreneurs, we tend to be doing all of this. And it's actually taking us away from being able to do this, which is where you're making the biggest impact and also drawing in revenue as well. So what's this? The low value tasks, and it could be things that you enjoy. So it could even be It could even be responding to emails. You really like responding to emails, but is that something that you really need to be caught up with for each and every email? And that's the thing, it's not saying that you don't respond to any of your emails, it's going, do you need to respond to each and every email? And for example, you might also be really OCD about organizing your folders. Like, do you really need to be involved in that? Because is that, at the end of the question, it needs to be about, is this a high value or low value task? So if it's a low value, and this one's a little bit trickier because it is something that you enjoy doing. It's not like you don't. And often I find this spot here, it's a bit of the procrastinator box. We like doing it, but we sort of know that it's not going to be particularly high value. But because we've got so much to do, it becomes something that you think is high value when it's not necessarily. And it's an administrative task. It's the repetitive things that we don't necessarily need to be involved in. So this is someone, you know, and we say you can either outsource or delegate. And what is the difference between outsourcing and delegating? Often outsourcing, you look at it as something that's outside of your organization, of your team, and delegating to someone within your team. So outsourcing could be, for example, if you need to outsource your design and marketing function, which is outside your team, you do that. That's outsourcing. When you delegate, that's someone within your team, and we look at virtual assistants as being in your team as well. So that's something where you can go, you know, very much to delegate to someone else to do. And in delegating as well, you have that level of over that. So for example, if I need to invite a guest for one of our live series, I basically set up, so the high value part for me, so this is a good example, high value part is having that initial connection with someone that I probably already know, and obviously the high value part is the relationship side of things, and the low value part is, you know, if I've already got a template for an email, I delegate it to someone in my team to craft that email. I might have a look at it, review it before it goes out, but I'm not spending time actually crafting that email. So you can delegate that. This one down here, the sad face, the not so happy face, is where it's tasks that you don't really like or you're not very good at. So for example, oh, it's reverse, isn't it? That's the annoying thing. I have to say, I don't know how to write backwards, but what I will do is I will take a photo and I will post it up. So technology is not doing me so well with the whiteboard at the moment, and I used to have a stylus to draw on my iPad, but it's gone missing in action. I have a feeling, please flip your screen. I don't actually know how to do that. I might have to delegate it to someone. Either way, if you can bear with me, I will take a photo of it and post it up in the group after I've done this. But I think if you can sort of work out what I'm saying here, high value, low value, happy face, that part I guess we don't have to flip, and the sad face. So with the sad face, like I said, it's things that you're not particularly good at or you don't like. And you know, I've had clients say, Cheryl, I know I really need to be going out and calling clients, but it is something that I'm not really good at and I actually don't really love. And that's where you go, all right, then you make that decision. Do I need to outsource or delegate? Because you don't want to be stuck with something that you don't really have a passion about. You want to be where your passion is and where that love is. So I'm actually going to make that into a little heart shape because I'm a bit of a hippie like that. It's the things that you're really passionate about that you want to be doing here. Here, look at whether you can delegate, where if it's a low value, particularly if it's a low value task and that you don't really like, there's a button on the screen which allows you to reverse from selfie to normal. If I have 2 cameras in my smartphone, Randy, I might need to outsource that to you. I'll touch base with you in a moment. I'm too afraid to touch any buttons right now, but I shall do that. Maybe I have to do, hold on. No, I won't touch too many buttons right now. I will work it out. Either way, so low value task here. It's low value, I don't really like it. Do you really want to spend time doing it? No, that's a no. And so you do need to look at either whether you should delegate that or outsource it. And then the last one, if it's a high value task, but it's not something you're very good at. And that could be, say for example, Facebook ads. I really like Facebook ads. I'm really not so good at it. I really like creating email channels, but I'm not really good at it. You know, thankfully we have someone in our team that's great with our CRM, that creates funnels and landing pages and Facebook ads, and that's what it is high value. It is high value because it's bringing in leads. But don't spend hours. You don't want to be spending hours trying to learn a new skill so that you can do Entreport. Absolutely. So if you've got a CRM, and CRMs are not necessarily easy to pick up. Go back to that whole question about what's high value and what is your time worth. Like if there's someone who is a pro at it and they can make changes and implement your campaign or your project quickly, look at whether you should be outsourcing. Don't look at it. You should be looking at outsourcing or delegating that. So here we go. So that's a really easy way of working it out. If you're, again, look at your business. I'm happy to share our task shredder with you. It will take a bit of time to go through each and every one. Like set out each and every task that it is that you're currently doing and ask yourself those questions and draw out this flipped board that I have, which I will post up, and make those decisions. And it should be quick decisions. And instinctively you will know as well. And if it is something that we are going, I'm doing a lot of this and it's holding me back from doing what it is that's pushing my business forward, look at what solutions there are. And definitely, whether it's outsourcing to other companies or bringing on a virtual assistant to assist with that, definitely consider whether that's something that you should be implementing in your business for you to grow. If you want to have a chat about anything, feel free to reach out, messages on Facebook or email me, Cheryl at yourpropertyva.com.au. I'm always here to help. We're happy to serve you and your clients. And really, we're going through a really challenging time at the moment. Businesses, you need to be able to take this time now to strategize and be able to bring in those clients, even nurture them. So thank you. It's a short and sweet one today. We've got a few bits and pieces to do on Entreport, funnily enough. I've got to sit down with my team as well. So have a great day. Any comments, please feel free to pop them below. And again, we'll pop up our task shredder and share that with you and my fancy little quadrant. Do you call it a quadrant? My square diagram. Thanks very much. Take care, everyone, and be safe. Bye.